Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brian Carter. I'm actually the team lead of the Carter Group. We are a team of real estate professionals working here in the greater Houston area. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about new construction purchases. So this is mainly pertaining to people who may be wanting to resell their home at some point in the future. You know, price ranges mainly from the 250s up to maybe the $650,000 price range. Now, if you're building $1 million home, you plan on being there forever, these tips may not pertain to you, but this is mainly focused on helping people achieve a good value with their new home. If in the next 1, 2, 3, maybe 5, 10 years, you're going to be looking at reselling it. You want to keep these tips in mind when you're making that initial purchase. It's going to lead you in the right direction. Just to give you a little background on myself, I actually been selling real estate for close to 15 years. 12 to 13 of those years, I actually worked for new home builders doing new home sales. I've sold close to 450 homes in my career. And so these tips that I'm providing you are actually coming from my own personal experience. Okay, so let's hop right into it. Okay, tip number 1 is dealing with the floor plan. Now, the floor plan is going to be the most important part of the purchase because that's the part that you can't really change very easily after you close. You know, trying to move walls, trying to add different structure to the home, all of those things can get very costly. So you want to make sure you get the floor plan right up front. Now, the floor plan design that most people are wanting nowadays is an open concept. You know, I would say 9 out of 10 buyers that come in looking for a new home, they want an open concept. But the actual type of open concept that seems to sell and be the most popular is the one in which where you're standing in the kitchen, okay? And you can look right into the family room, and on that back wall is the TV. So if you're cooking, you're doing the dishes, you can have a dead-on shot and you could be looking at the television. And then off to the left or maybe off to the right, if you have like the breakfast or dining area, that is the type of floor plan that sold very rapidly 10 years ago, is very popular today, and it will be popular 10 years from now. So if you're kind of juggling between different floor plans and which one to go with, and you come across one where if you're in the kitchen, you can look right into the family room, you can see the TV clearly, you got your breakfast area off to the left or off to the right, that floor plan is extremely popular and it's going to appeal to a wide variety of people when you go to resell. Another floor plan feature that's very beneficial is a study. So nowadays, of course, a lot of people are working from home, they're working remote. So having a study in a floor plan is very beneficial, probably for yourself and also for others when you go for resale. Even if you have to give up a room to get a study, that's still very beneficial. You know, some floor plans come with formal livings, some come with formal dinings. So if you have the option to convert either of those rooms to a study, that's going to be a lot more beneficial. You know, the formal dining has kind of gone a little bit obsolete. It's 50-50. Not a lot of buyers really demand that room. So don't feel bad if, you're losing a formal dining and replacing it with a study or a bonus space, because a lot of times having that bonus room or that study is more beneficial to you and to the resellability of the home. Now, another floor plan feature that has become increasingly popular over the last 5 to 10 years for 2-story homes is having 2 bedrooms down. So that's 2 bedrooms on the bottom level. You'll have the master main suite, of course, and then having a guest room with its own in-suite bath. 2 bedrooms down appeal to folks who may have older family members coming to visit, or just guests or relatives or friends staying, and they may not want them to go to the second level. So if you have the opportunity to get a floor plan with 2 bedrooms down, that is a very good feature to have in your home. The final floor plan feature that I'm going to touch on is high ceilings, especially dealing with 2-story homes, even 1-story homes as well. But in a 2-story home, when you come into the home, if you have a 2-story entry, as soon as you enter the home, gives a lot of wow factor. People also love 2-story family rooms with the large oversized windows, and you can kind of look over from below from the second level. So if you're in the family room and you look up and you can see the game room, or you can see a walkway to the second level with some railing, people love that. That type of floor plan has always been popular. It always will be. And so if you have the opportunity to get a plan with high ceilings, definitely go that route. Even for 1-story homes, some builders do build 1-stories that have higher ceilings in the entry, the extended entry, and higher ceilings in the family room. You know, when I say higher ceilings, 9 to 10 feet is typically standard. So if you can get a plan that's a 1-story, maybe that has some 12-foot ceilings, some 13 or 14-foot ceilings, that's going to be very, very nice. With a 2-story home, it's going to be 18 to 20-foot high ceilings in the entry and in the family room. So those are some of the tips for the floor plan that you definitely want to keep in mind. That's going to help you from a resale standpoint. The next tip I'm going to talk about is dealing with the lot. You know, a lot of times people don't realize, but when you're purchasing new construction, you have the base price of the home. And then most of the time, builders do have an additional cost for the lot. Every once in a while, you can find a lot with no premium, which is ideal. If you can get a nice rectangular lot, you know, it doesn't back to a busy road or doesn't back to power lines or something that's not very favorable, you know, getting a 0 premium lot, rectangular, is a good route to go. In terms of upgraded lots, if you're looking at maybe getting a larger lot, an oversized lot, a lot to backs to a reserve, that could add value, but you want to make sure you're not overpaying as well. So for instance, if you're able to get a lot that backs to a reserve, or like a walkway or a pond or a trail, something where you're not going to have neighbors there, and you can get that lot for maybe like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, maybe up to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 premium. That's a very good value. You know, that's something that's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck, if you will. Now, if you're starting to look at, you know, cul-de-sac lots, pie-shaped lots that are going from 10,000 to 15,000 square feet, you know, for that type of lot, if you can get it for 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, that's a fairly good value as well. And every once in a while, you'll run into like a jumbo lot that's maybe 18,000, 20,000 square feet. These are rare. But that type of lot, if you can get it between 15 to 20,000, you know, that is another good value as well. So you want to keep in mind making a good decision on your lot in terms of location. Like I mentioned, try to stay away from busy streets. You could back to a residential street, you know, if it's one where the mile per hour is maybe 15, 20, and that's not going to have a lot of road noise. But if you're talking about major freeways, major thoroughways, major streets, you want to try to stay away from those because that will affect you and hurt you from a resale standpoint. Okay, so tip number 3 is dealing with the structural options of the home. So basically, when you're building a home, you get the opportunity to pick the structural options, which are mainly pertaining to things like covered patios, things like fireplaces, adding additional rooms, the front elevation of the home, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to start with the elevation. And when we say elevation in the new construction world, that's dealing with the front facade, the exterior of the home and what it's going to look like. Typically, each floor plan will have anywhere from 1 to 4 different front facades, which are called elevations. Usually you'll get one standard that comes at the base price, and then you can upgrade depending upon which one you want to go with. The elevation is a place where you can try to save some money and stick with the standard elevation, especially if it looks nice. A lot of times you have the opportunity to select your brick and your paint. If you go with ideal colors and get a good color scheme, even at the standard elevation, you can create nice curb appeal. Now, if you do have an opportunity to upgrade the elevation and maybe get something with stone and brick, or maybe some stone and stucco, or elevation that's a little bit more extravagant, and the cost isn't too high, it may be something to consider. You know, if you can get a stone and brick for maybe another 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000, or it's upgraded elevation with some stucco or things of that nature for maybe, you know, 4,000 to 6,000, you know, that could be a good value. I wouldn't start paying 8,000, 10,000, 15, 20,000 for upgraded elevations, which some builders do offer. I've seen elevations go for as much as 30 to 40,000. And to me, you're not really going to get that value back because it's not giving you more square footage. It's simply affecting the front look of the home. And so it's not very beneficial to add that much additional cost to your home where you're not gaining square footage. So to recap, I would kind of stick with, you know, the standard elevation, or maybe one that you can get for another 2,000 to 5,000 if it looks that much better. The next structural feature that most people are going to want in the home is a covered patio. A lot of floor plans come with a covered patio already. If so, that's great. If not, I would suggest trying to add that. It could be a little bit of an expensive upgrade, but here in Texas with the heat, you know, you're going to need that if you're going to want to be outdoors. And from a resale standpoint, covered patios are something that a lot of people do desire. You know, I would stay away from trying to add rooms. You know, you have a lot of floor plans where you can add a fifth bedroom, or you can add a media room, or you can add a second level. Now, opposed to adding those rooms to a floor plan, a lot of times it's better just to look for a larger plan that already comes with the rooms that you need. And from a cost standpoint, of course, you could balance it and weigh it out. But from my experience, when you start trying to add those rooms, yes, you may get what you want, but it may be more cost beneficial to just go with a larger plan. So of course you can balance it out and do your own due diligence as far as that's concerned. But like I mentioned, it may be better just to look for that larger plan that has 4 bedrooms with a media room, or that has 5 bedrooms and 4 bath, as opposed to trying to add those rooms to a smaller plan. So those are the tips that I have for you from a structural standpoint. Now we could talk about design center options. So design center options are dealing with those that are affecting the interior of the home, and which you're going to go to the design center to select. Things like flooring, cabinet color, countertops, paint, etc. So the main things you want to focus on as far as design center options are the flooring, the kitchen, and the master bathroom. These are going to be the 3 most important features that kind of give your home its overall appeal. So in terms of flooring, a lot of times it is a good idea to upgrade the entry, the extended entry, the study, the formal dining if you have it, the kitchen, breakfast area, and family room, all in the same flooring. Having that consistent floor is just something that looks very appealing. It's something that most buyers tend to like. It's something that I would highly suggest that you do. The upgrades that most people are going with now is the luxury vinyl plank, which is one of the more cost-effective ones. Laminate floors, there's still a lot of very nice looking laminates. From there, you can go with maybe a wood look tile. That's become increasingly popular. Keep in mind with the wood look tile, you will have the grout lines. A lot of people don't like the grout. So if that's not your thing, you may want to consider a luxury vinyl plank or a laminate. And then on the high end, you have wood floors. Natural hardwood, engineered hardwood, all of those are viable options. Now, in terms of cost, sometimes you do want to weigh it out. If you're able to get upgraded flooring in those main living areas, from 4,000 to 6,000 on maybe a smaller, 1,500 to 2,000 square foot home. Or if you're looking at a larger home that's 2,500, 3,000, 3,500, if you can get that upgraded flooring for maybe like $5,000 to $8,000, that's a really good value. Now, if you start running the numbers and you're seeing where you're spending $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for flooring in the main areas of your home, you may want to consider if the builder would allow you to install carpet everywhere, you take that carpet up and just do your own floors after the fact. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but if it could save you $5,000 to $10,000, it could be beneficial because 1, you're not financing that into a loan and paying interest on it. And 2, you're keeping the initial cost of your home down and you're saving money. So the kitchen and the master bathroom are the other 2 areas you want to kind of focus on and do some nice upgrades. In the kitchen, you could look at maybe upgrading the kitchen countertops. Usually builders will give you a standard level 1 granite. Quartz has become very popular now. Porcelain is coming into play. If you can get an upgraded countertop for $500, $1,000, $1,500, kind of in that range, it's worth it to do. Built-in appliances with a cooktop and built-in microwave and oven is another thing I would suggest. Maybe an undermount sink, things of that nature. You can kind of use your own personal preference in terms of what you like and how you want to set up your kitchen, but definitely spend some energy and time focusing on upgrading the kitchen to make it look very beautiful. The master bath, some of the upgrades in there I would suggest is going from a standard 12 by 12 tile to maybe a 12 by 24 rectangular tile. That shouldn't be too expensive because usually master baths aren't that large. I would also look at doing a mud set shower, which is basically if you have a white acrylic pan at the bottom of the shower, replacing that with the small mosaic tiles and then having tile going from the top of your shower to the ceiling. Another option for the master bathroom that I would actually try to stay away from is the enlarged shower option in lieu of the master tub. And so what that means is basically a lot of builders are offering the option to remove the tub from the master bath and you gain a larger shower. Now these options have become popular. Some people do tend to go with them, but in my experience, in my opinion, having the master tub in the master bathroom is a big feature and a big resale item for a lot of folks. I've seen people actually not purchase a home because there's no tub in the master bathroom, but I've never seen someone pass on a home because it has a tub and a shower. So if you're trying to decide, should I get the in-law shower and get rid of the tub, or should I keep it? I would say it's a good idea to keep the tub and the shower in the master bathroom and just make do with that. My last and final tip would be that you should be working with a real estate agent to help you throughout the new home construction building process in terms of finding and locating the builders and guiding you from start to finish. Here in Houston, the greater Houston area, there's hundreds of builders. There's thousands of communities. A lot of these communities aren't on MLS, they're not on Zillow. And if you're not working with an experienced agent that is in tune with the market, you could simply miss out on opportunities. You may be buying a home in one community and literally around the corner, there could be a community that's offering a better value where you could have got more bang for your buck, but you simply didn't know about it. And then also from a standpoint of just choosing the right floor plan, choosing the right lot, making the right decisions, an experienced real estate professional can help guide you in the right direction. I actually have to run. I'm going to a showing right now. I'm actually running a little bit late, but I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope these tips were beneficial. I could talk about new construction all day. I love it. So if you're considering getting a new home and you have any detailed questions about builders, areas, or just need some help with the process, feel free to reach out. We would love the opportunity to work with you. Thank you. And as always, peace, love, and happiness.